Welcome everybody to Retro Spexx. This is Jim Tindo 86. We are sponsored by Earl. Is it Earl Campbell? Who is it?
First of all, I had no idea you were about to start, so I never started recording the video version.
Oh, I thought we were recording.
We're recording audio.
Man, well, even if we're not going to get paid now because Jim flubbed it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again and do it right.
Who is Earl Campbell? Wow. Wow.
I'll see. I'll try and do it okay. This is Jim Tindo.
I'm about to throw you into another channel.
I'm Jim Tindo. Oh shit.
I'll start. I'm also going to start recording. So welcome to Retro Spexx, everybody. It's Jim Tindo 86. I've got Andrew. I've got Nick. I've got Ed. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl. So I actually didn't know that tomorrow was the Super Bowl, at all.
What did we just fucking say about the Super Bowl? What did we just
say Super Bowl? I literally can't say. Oh my god!
Thank God I didn't leave yet.
The big.
Because then it's going to say user in your channel is left.
User in your channel stopped recording.
All right,
you
guys,
could say the
Jim,
biggest annual football game.
The biggest football game of the year.
Yeah.
The AFC versus the NFC. Can you say that?
WrestleMania of NFL.
Fucking
I don't think you can.
I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna fucking
User
call it that.
disconnected from
I
your
don't think you
channel.
can call it AFC versus NFC because that's still the conferences.
Can you call it the WrestleMania of football
Please
game?
don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Please
That's what I'm
don't.
gonna fucking call it. That's what I'm
And,
gonna
then,
fucking
and
call
then
it.
you'll get flagged by Vince.
They literally attacked us for the then, now, forever, and then specified a date. I don't even know what video I stole that from. And the videos are listed.
That's the best part.
That was the fucking freakiest part, is what that was.
You should just say, hey, there's a pretty big football game on tomorrow.
Ooh.
All right,
That people
I got
shell
it.
out a lot of money for commercials. Hint, hint.
Now I gotta edit.
No, well, okay. I'll
okay.
record the podcast.
I'm talking about the video version. Fuck.
God damn it! I hate everybody today.
You did the mistake!
I'm still gonna blame you.
Jim, I thought I was going to be
User
on a
was moved out of
structured
your channel.
podcast.
Oh, he left.
Oh, he left.
No,
Oh, no.
I moved him.
User was moved to
Oh.
your channel.
Oh, he's back.
No, I moved. Yeah.
Dicks.
Shut up.
User in your channel started recording.
Welcome to Retro Spexx. I'm Jim Tindo 86. Today we're going to talk about a big, humongous football game. Can I say football at least?
We'll allow it.
All right, here's the thing. I've tried to record this thing like 3 different times. I can't say it, apparently, because I fear of being fucking sued. But there's a big football game tomorrow. We'll call it the WrestleMania of the football league that everybody watches. the place that
Yeah, not XFL.
no, XFL would be totally cool with me talking about what was their championship game going to be called?
It was called The Big Game.
It was called the big game.
Fuck, they would have sued me. Anyway, it's Retro Spexx. I'm Jim Tindo 86. We've got Andrew. We've got Nick. We've got Ed. Todd's going to be in the background. We're talking about our favorite football games, our favorite retro football games. At first, it was so funny. Ed sends us a message like 2 weeks ago. Are we really going to record on Super Bowl Sunday? And I was like, fuck, it's already the Super Bowl. So obviously not. It's the day before. God damn it!
What the hell?
What was that?
I unmuted just to pound my desk and mute myself
my
again.
God.
It's all right. Keep going.
I'm going to keep going. Podcast listeners are going to hear me
What
say
a
it. We'll just
leaky
beep it out.
faucet.
Oh my God. I hate everything today.
We're doing so great.
I know, right?
We had such an organized, cool episode last time, and now there's this.
Now we're back to our old format.
All right, there's a big football game. It's tomorrow. It involves Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, and a lot of people will pay a lot of money to watch commercials. And
there's an owl of superb status.
Ooh, I like that.
Wow,
Yes,
I like that. It will be sandwiching around performance by The Weeknd.
Oh, it's The Weeknd performance. I had no idea who was performing.
That's that, and I know okay. I don't know much about The Weeknd. I'm not really.
Everybody's living for it.
But I saw like a picture of him. I saw a picture of him, and he looked like he had like a bunch of like work done on his face. But then that was like for a music video. But then it's like this overarching storyline of him getting completely fucking fucked up on plastic surgery. I don't know. It was kind of interesting.
Oh, you watched the American Dad episode.
I literally just watched that today.
That's pretty great, actually.
That is one show that like I just have let slip through the cracks.
It's so good.
Because what I totally get what I understand is after it like left Fox and went to TBS, it went way better, right?
Oh yes,
yeah.
It got way better. So I don't know, but yes, we're here to talk about that sporting event that involves a pigskin and that involves normally lots of parties and wings and stuff. But we're going to talk about our favorite games that circumambulates that specific sport from our childhood. I can still say retro, right? Retro football games.
Now, Retrospects is going to flag us if you say retro.
For real, fucking right. But I know that kind of like right off the bat, sports games were for Sega. The Super Nintendo and Nintendo didn't really have it. But I will say, when we get to it, my favorite game was on the NES. One of my favorite games. So we'll get into that in a second. But first, we will start with our normal stuff where we will talk about what games we've been playing. I'll start. So I finished Trials of Mana, which is the remake. I've talked about it. Not the remake of Seiken Densetsu 3, which is the sequel for Secret of Mana that never came out in the United States. It was fun. It was a fun little game. It took like 40 hours, and it was a little fun little anime game, as people have been telling me is what it is. It's not an RPG. It was an anime game, but I had fun with it. It was cool. It's not very hard. I would say it's probably if you've never played an RPG before, you want to check one out, but you don't want it to be older, you want it to be newer, I'd say check out Trials of Mana on the Switch or PC. I think it's one of the easier, more accessible ones to play, and you don't really need to know much about Secret of Mana or that whole overarching series to really understand what's going on. But then I got, because it came out February 2nd, I got Ys 9 Monstrum Nox for the PlayStation 4. Now, I have this game also pre-ordered on the Nintendo Switch, the special edition, but that motherfucker doesn't come out till like June. So I really, really want to play it. Ys 8 is like one of my favorite games of all time. So I need to get Ys 9. I'm not super far into it. The music kicks ass, but if you've ever played any Ys game or any Falcom game, the music always kicks ass. Other than that, just kind of preparing for this episode, I've been playing a bunch of I can say football. I almost like stopped myself from saying fucking football. I've been playing a bunch of football games. Which
FIFA?
American football. I apologize. Not as graceful. American football. I apologize to there's going to be so many people fucking tuning in thinking that they're going to get a soccer podcast. They're going to be so upset and disappointed.
That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about our favorite clubs. We're going to...
I only know one.
All the way.
I only know one soccer club, and it's Arsenal, just because I think it's a cool name. They could be the worst soccer team in the world. I would not know it. I just know that their name is kind of cool.
Kind of are.
I know Justin likes them. He's a fan of Arsenal. I think he is. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that.
I bet he's a poser that has an Arsenal scarf.
I know Todd has a soccer jersey or like a shirt that's kind of nice. I don't know what it is though.
I have the U.S. national team and the Mexico national team.
Well, there you go.
I don't own any league teams, but if I did, it would probably be something from MLS because of America.
America.
Yeah.
Dynamo, right?
No, I don't really like the Dynamo. I'm trying to support Austin FC. They're a new club.
From Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll support them. That's my
brand
hometown.
new.
That's my hometown. I only know the Dynamo, that team, which I've already forgotten the name of, and then I know the New York Red Bulls just because of the drink. But yeah, that is what I have been playing. Who would like to go next?
I'll go with what I've been playing. Well, because I've been in a type of paralysis on trying to start up a new game since I've pretty much put Cyberpunk down. But
put Cyberpunk in your rear view.
Hell yeah, I let that CD burn. But
God damn it.
I've just been playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it's very similar to the oh yeah, we did do it Extra Life.
Yep.
It's very similar to the vein of Payday, where I was talking to the guys about this, saying that whatever this type of genre of game is, I think I'm all about that. Where Andrew said that it might be in the vein of Left 4 Dead or Vermintide, but I see it kind of different because those are it's you and four people, you and three other people against a horde of like mobs. But in Payday and Deep Rock, you have objectives, and then the mobs come to try and fuck you over. So while the other one is just mobs, and you might have an objective.
What about that GTFO game?
That's in the same as like Left 4 Dead.
No, but I thought it was objective in the sense of you're trying to get out.
Yeah,
well, I mean that's the same as Left 4 Dead. You're trying to get to a point, but I'm talking about like the one in Left 4 Dead 2 where you're trying to get a car started, so you have to go find fuel, get it back, and start up the car. So
that's literally a Last Night on Earth, the board game mode. I never realized that,
and that's why. Like when we were playing board games, that's why I keep buying and trying to suggest these cooperative games. Because I guess that's just the kind of shit that I like.
I like cooperative games. What are the board games that Andrew would bring? The fucking time management bullshits.
That was like Magic Maze.
Magic Maze.
One time.
Well, that's like
Jeez.
That's like Alyssa. My wife Alyssa. She'll be like sitting down, relaxing, and she's playing this game where she's got to cook all this stuff, and it's like Overcooked for the Switch. And she's just relaxing, and here I am losing my damn mind when I'm playing these. Oh my god, it's so stressful.
I mean, it's really paints a picture as why we can't ever start on time. Hey-o. But anyway. Yeah, that's the kind of game that I've been playing. What about everyone else?
Well, I started playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and because I really wanted to push, get a game to push my graphics card, since I'm kind of playing a lot of older stuff with it.
Is that the second Tomb Raider one?
That would be the third.
The third of the current gen.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and it really made me go, oh yeah, I actually do really enjoy this iteration of Lara that they got going, because
I loved that first one.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Oh, it was so good.
Lara's Bad Day, I got it.
And now she's the Predator.
Yeah, now she's Predator. Yeah, that's really funny. Real interesting to see, because I can still remember the cutscene where she refuses to pull the trigger on somebody, and then when she does, she's just so grief stricken. And now I'm covering myself up in mud and stabbing people as they walk by, right there in the throat. It's such a change.
There's nothing better than being in the tree though, and then just throwing that hook with the rope.
Oh yeah. I just unlocked it.
Oh man, have fun with that.
Oh look, we got a subscription. We got an alert. Dr. Sauce OG just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription.
Dr. Sauce, give me the sauce. I remember when did Uncharted 4 come out? 2015, 2016?
4?
Yes.
4.
I believe 16 or 17.
It was within the last 5 years.
It wasn't 17. It would have been 15 or 16. But anyways, I remember
16.
I remember playing that game, and I loved it. I really thought Uncharted 4 was really good, but I went back and played the second Tomb Raider game from the series, and I'm like, this is so much better. I don't know what it is, but it was so much better in my opinion. It is. I'm going to play the third one eventually, but man, they get those like kind of actiony type games. They do it so well. I don't think anybody does it better than them. Those like adventure puzzle type games.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, just from all around across the board, like the character models, the actual graphics, and me actually getting to see like the quote unquote RTX bits of it. I'm still trying to understand and recognize what I'm seeing as RTX, but like it's fantastic. Like the little bits that they do. I mean, I would definitely love to do like a stream of it one day if that's cool. But
of course, anytime. But I feel stupid. When did this game come out?
Rise?
2 years ago.
Shadow.
2
years
ago.
2018?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
That game is also like a benchmarking game. You know the old thing, like, can it run Crysis?
Yeah.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider is that game for the current
Wow,
generation.
I feel so stupid because I loved, the Tomb Raider one, and then Rise was I never even played this.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Nolan naming of games.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. Weird. So, but yeah, no, I really am enjoying it. It's been a while since I've had a game where I can just like I'll play, I'll stop playing, and then I'm kind of like, okay, when can I go back and play again?
That was the last game, like that non JRPG. That was God of War for me.
Yeah,
where like I just could not stop playing.
It's a good one, not a good one. So, but yeah, I will say things I'm not very fond of is kind of realizing and knowing when to repel and not to repel, because that's like a new mechanic they did. I think they went a lot more with verticality in this game, and there'll be times where I'll be climbing a wall and then I'll just be like, what do I do now? And then, oh yeah, I can repel, and then I would just repel myself down on nothing, basically. So
you just yeet her off a cliff and be like, oh, can't do that.
Basically, I've done it many times already. So, because isn't that the best part of a Tomb Raider game? Just seeing all the ways that
a million ways Laura dies.
It's like Crash Bandicoot, Ed, what you got?
The usual. Ring Fit, Payday, Ring Fit. No. But like, I actually started up Resident Evil 7 because I forgot that I owned it and I've never played it.
Oh man!
So
Same.
yes. So when I saw the thing for Resident Evil 8, I was like, yeah, I know I have every other fucking Resident Evil game.
You getting ready for the big lady?
Getting ready for the big lady.
Oh my god, the fascination with this thing is so good.
Did you happen to see the height, Jim, of
9 feet something?
9 feet.
Hey, that's with heels and hat.
Yeah. So 9 feet and some inches, but yeah.
And like we know that she's going to be like the tyrant of that game, right?
Most likely. I mean, how far into 7 are you?
Okay, so real quick, I bought it way back when for the gold edition, and it was like $15, like a year after it came out, but it was through the Windows Store.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is just a weird glitch with that, but like I got to a point where I have to unlock a door and I have the key and I use it, but the door never unlocks. And this is after freaking Father Baker has chased me like 3 times.
Oh no, he's going to keep chasing you.
Yeah, yeah. So I got to that point, and I'm like, well, okay, I'm done here for now. It was just aggravating me.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out. Like, I really hope I don't have to restart it because I won't.
Not even a second to just think about it. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
But what if you restarted it in VR?
So yeah, I was gonna say, like, because I personally, I have put that game down and started it back up more than I care to admit. Like I've gotten about, I'd say almost a midway point, within the actual game, at least what feels like a midway, and I just haven't had a desire to go back. And so I don't know what it is about this particular game. I loved the demo of it.
The demo was so good.
It was fantastic. You had so many
but
weird
everyone,
little things.
And I don't think that's why. I think that's why I never played it, because everyone was like, the demo is nothing like the game.
Which was kind of the point.
Yeah. You were just supposed to get like the mechanics of it. You weren't supposed to remember everything.
I mean, wasn't the point of the thing to like really show you that this isn't the typical Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And also that demo had so many secrets that most people didn't know about. A lot of them didn't see the actual ending or all the enemies. I'm sorry, the different ways that you can interact with it. Because I remember I never played it.
No, it was something as so simple as like not watching a tape, and doing what you're supposed to do.
Or not screwing in a light bulb or something.
Yeah, and the whole demo changed.
Yeah, if I remember right, there's like a pull tab in the fireplace or some shit, and if you miss it, it changes what ending or what voice lines you got, which gives you a different ending. It was pretty deep. And like I said, I'm not a horror person. I'm a bitch. But so the way I experienced this game was I watched Achievement Hunter play it. They played it the entire way through, and I bought it just based off that walkthrough or that gameplay. Granted, I haven't played it because again, I'm a bitch. But I wanted to support this game because I literally got 5 to 10 hours worth of entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally watched that series multiple times because not only are they funny, but the game is interesting. And it made me more excited for Resident Evil 8. I've only played 1, and it was 4. And luckily, I happened to grab the best one. It doesn't really count this time.
Yeah, it doesn't count. I just figured it out. Those listening to the podcast, we're streaming live on Twitch and people are subscribing. So
I'm not sure you can say that's the best one, but
4?
Yeah, no.
I don't think 4 is. I thought 4 was the best one.
Are you including like the 1 and 2 remakes?
I don't think
I would say those count.
Well, I was trying to ask basically a roundabout way of being like, is that one of your favorites?
Well, I mean, my favorite will always be the original 2.
Okay. I
think the first one,
like 4 is great. I'm not going to take anything away from it. It's
a different game.
Yeah, it's different from just like 7 is different from all the other ones. 4 was different from all the ones before it.
I think the first one I ever acknowledged, like that I knew what the game series was Code Veronica.
That's my favorite.
So I missed out on what, 3 of them at that point. Code Veronica.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what Resident Evil was when 2 came out. A babysitter of mine brought it over and started playing it and forced me to watch, even though I hated it. Hated every second of it.
That's evil. You had a fucking babysitter that forced you to watch or play Resident Evil? That's some weird shit, dude.
Like, you're gonna
her name
watch
was
me
Vicky.
Vicky,
oh
you're the reason Nick doesn't like survival horror games.
That's sadistic as fuck.
That is pretty bad, yeah.
I mean, you got to listen to the babysitter, though, right?
Well, yeah.
So...
I mean, she's an authoritative figure, so I had to.
Does this explain a lot of your childhood trauma, Nick?
I had no childhood trauma. I grew up perfect.
Until then.
It's like right around the same. I mean, do you remember the PT trailer?
I do.
I still own that.
You okay? Well, I don't know if it would ever actually sell like the Scott Pilgrim shit, but like people would buy PS3s for like a lot of money, that had that PT trailer on it.
Wait, PS3 had that trailer?
No, I mean PS4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah, PS4.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what?
Just the fake gamer girl is showing now. That's all.
I'm sorry. I never played it. I've only watched just people play it online.
Loser.
If I thought I still had my own copy of Silent Hill 2 for PS2, but I don't. I thought I did, but I don't have a copy of it. So I went to see how much a copy of Silent Hill 2. The greatest hits version is pretty inexpensive. Like you can get it for like $15 or $20. But if you want a non-greatest hits version with the manual, it's like $85.
Wow.
I wonder how much a copy of the original Resident Evil, not director's cut, is.
Well, for like for PlayStation?
Yeah.
Yeah, the not director's cut?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with I feel like retro gaming in general right now. It is pretty hot, and I think people are pricing everything old, no matter what it is, to be extremely expensive.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
like I saw
That's how things are.
That's supply and demand. Stop wanting it, and then they won't do that.
I don't necessarily think people want it because, like, I went to a game
Do you
store.
want it?
What, a copy of here's what I'm going to say. There's a game store. They had a copy of it was the Green Label Greatest Hits Final Fantasy, not in the original jewel case, just loose. They wanted $115 for it.
I assume we're talking 7.
Right?
Right?
Oh, I'm sorry if I didn't say it. 7, yeah. That's not worth that. Especially with the amount of ways that you can play that game, that is not worth, I would even say, half of that. I'm not disparaging the game or anything, but a loose copy of the greatest hits version of Final Fantasy VII, that's not worth it. I think people are seeing that it's old. They're saying, oh, old is in right now. Let's price it to the moon. Now, I got lucky at that same store. I found a copy of Stuntman for PS2 for $5, and I bought that shit real quick. I love that game.
So, Jim, you're basically telling me that I can get double because mine has the case.
I'm saying in this world,
that's what
you
you're
can
saying.
get triple.
No, I'm saying you
Oh
could
my
price
God.
it double. I don't know if anybody will buy it.
Yeah.
They can price
Yeah.
anything whatever you want to, but I'm just saying, like,
That's the one thing I regret is giving up my OG, like my original copy of 7 and also my original copy of 2 and then rebuying them as greatest hits. I was like, fuck.
I feel like the last time I did own Silent Hill 2 was a greatest hits. Play through it and then I sold it again like a jackass.
But I still do have my original copy of 8, Final Fantasy 8.
Non-greatest hits? That's Todd's favorite.
I'll say Todd will be the only one in line for that, right?
Hey, I love that game.
I love the music in that game.
I
so good.
like Final Fantasy 8. I like it.
Oh,
What?
I thought of a retro discussion, but that'll be later.
But I think I like Final Fantasy 8 as much as I do because I know Todd likes it a lot. I think that's the reason why.
And I like that you guys have liked and played this game.
What game? 8?
Mm-hmm.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you for your support. That means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate
Mine is
you.
9. You know, when we do our Final Fantasy retrospect, whenever 16 comes out, whether it be this year or next, we'll do a deep dive.
Can I tangent off of this
Sure,
really quick?
go for it. Hey, we're done with what we've been playing. So
Rainbow Six for me, and I bought Escape from Tarkov. So I need y'all's help because y'all played the older games, maybe some Final Fantasies. We had a question on Jeopardy on Rants On.
Good time to talk about
Let me
this.
find. I can't find. I'm not gonna look it up. And the question was: this character from Final Fantasy is known for his laugh. What is the answer to that?
Tidus.
Who is Tidus? Yeah.
Okay,
God damn it! All right, I'm wrong. I guess I'm wrong.
Jim.
Wait, are you guys asking? Are you trying to see if who says Titus?
No. Jim said Kefka
Efka?
Kefka.
From six.
from Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah, well,
The
yeah,
clown.
but no. We all know who you're talking about when you're saying the laugh, and it's not Kefka.
If
If you were going to say who's like the greatest villain,
Yeah.
So my part of the confusion was there were no voice lines in Final Fantasy 6. And Jim was like, yes, there are. So we looked it up, and it's like an 8-bit kind of noise.
Isn't it? Yeah, like the Ganon laugh.
I wouldn't have counted that for shit. I wouldn't. That's how I didn't know.
But I don't know. I feel like if I mean, obviously I'm wrong because all y'all said Titus too, and I'm not even arguing at that point. But like when I think of famous Final Fantasy laughs, like that's a famously bad English translation. That's what that is to me.
I think a lot of it is it should have been phrased as this Final Fantasy character's laugh has become a meme.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that would have been correct.
He isn't memeing very hard
because Kefka's laugh is like as infamous as fucking Navi saying, "Hey, listen."
That's a very specific thing to rank up that
but
high.
the thing is with Navi, it's actually
a voice. Like
it's
a line.
It's not a
understood,
MIDI
but
sound.
That's the system that it came out for.
Right.
Yeah.
N64 could support that. The SNES really couldn't. I mean, it could, but it didn't.
Right. That's like saying the opera song in Final Fantasy VI is great. It's not. No,
it is great.
No. Let me finish.
Let me
finish. It's great now. The chiptune MIDI version of it when it first came out was not that great.
Oh, you're wrong. The original. Oh, that soundtrack is so good.
No, the only thing that's great about it when it first released is the fact that
Now, I will admit that game of Jeopardy fucked Jim over like 3 times.
Yeah, it sure did.
One of the times I
so
gave
mad
you
I
credit.
gave up.
Yeah, I could tell. Luckily, I made a special one just for y'all.
Got another one coming up.
Ooh. Don't if you're listening to the podcast version, how you can listen? Tell them how they can listen to us playing Jeopardy here in a minute. Now, if you're watching live, you'll be able to see us play Jeopardy here at the end.
Patreon.com/rantymedia. We'll put up the video version of it with the Jeopardy post show that I made specifically for these boys. And I'll be really disappointed if y'all miss a lot of these questions.
Question: how are we buzzing in?
Saying your name.
Excellent.
Saying our usernames or saying our name?
Your name.
Okay.
Your name. I buzz in with your name.
Yeah, you can do that. And I'll ignore
so frustrated telling these guys what to
do. What's tattooed on Steve-O's ass?
Your name.
Your name. Yep. What was the highest grossing movie in Japan last year? Your name.
Your name. Okay.
So,
Jesus Christ.
That will be fun.
Demon Slayer, Mugen Infinity Train.
I made an entire. Oh, that's right. I need
to get on that Demon Slayer. I need to get on the Demon Slayer.
I made an entire category about controllers.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Here we go.
You'll be able to catch.
I already know the answer to one of them.
My body.
You'll be able to catch those fun things at the end of every week here if you're watching us live on Twitch, spending your quarantine Saturday night with us, or if you subscribe to our Patreon, $1 a month gets you those episodes, right, Todd?
Yes, 99% sure it's $1.
We'll say $1.
Nobody subs. Let me be real. Nobody subs to Patreon right now.
I do.
I pay $8.50 a month just so I can round, so it makes it a nice even number every year. And Kevin's on there, and Jeff's on there. Though Jeff's credit card went bad, he never fixed it.
All right, so Since we've got the big game coming up here tomorrow, I figured we'd talk about some of our fond football memories. Now, did anybody play football? Like actually play football? Like in when you were a kid? Yeah, I never did.
Wait, you mean like on a team after school, or just played the game at all?
Played it for either, because obviously you didn't when you were a kid, like you were part of an organization. But I'm talking about that, or if you played it at school.
I played for my middle school.
Okay. Ed? Oh, okay. Nick?
No, I didn't play like for school or on a team, but I played football before.
Yeah. I played, in gym class and stuff, you play flag football, but yeah,
I've played football.
No pads football?
Yeah.
Like a man. Nick,
Are
you trying to flex
touch
right now?
Football, or I didn't look at someone sternly. Football.
Well,
I didn't play sarcastaball.
Are we able to show fucking football shit? Anyways, growing up,
I really hope so.
I didn't have one of those parents that like were like they were willing to sign the permission slips. I'll just say the permission slips. I'll just say that. So, but I just never cared enough to play football, which was definitely disappointing to my father. But I played basketball. Basketball was the sport that I liked the most when I was a kid. But I loved video game football. But for me, there were two of them that I played. Really, I'll kind of go into two of them that I played back in the day, and then one that was my favorite. So the first one I ever played was Tecmo Super Bowl. So kind of harping back to our last episode where we talked about the NES, I did not have an NES, but cousins did. So that is how I would play Tecmo Super Bowl, which is the famous if you played the Oakland Raiders, you would
correction.
Win. What
team did he play for? Los Angeles Raiders.
Yeah,
the Raiders.
Oakland at
the time they were Los. Hey, they're not even Oakland now anymore. At the time they were Los Angeles. Yeah. So if you played for the Raiders, basically you would win every single time because they made Bo Jackson so powerful. So with my cousins, you could not pick the Raiders. Like it was not allowed. Like it was like a band.
It was the odd job of Tecmo.
Exactly. Perfect analogy. So we always would have to pick some of the other teams. Now, the other cool thing about this was on the first Tecmo Bowl, not just called Tecmo Bowl, they only had like 12 teams. They did not have the whole entire roster. Tecmo Super Bowl has the whole roster as of the year that it came out. Obviously, they've added, I think, 4 teams since then. But yeah, and the cool thing about Tecmo Super Bowl now is yearly they update various ROM hacks, which I won't tell you how to get, but I'm sure you can do a search, and it will have the current rosters. And there are literally like fantasy football sites dedicated to people in these massive, season-long series of tournaments and stuff like that. So it's got a pretty hardcore community, even several decades after it was released. So Tecmo Super Bowl was my first one. The other one, and I'll be real with you, Sega Genesis always had the better sports games. It just did. NHL 94, we'll do a whole fucking episode on NHL 94. That game is a masterpiece in my opinion. But Joe Montana Sports Talk Football 2 for the Sega Genesis was it's such rolls off the tongue, right? Great football game. I don't think I should know this, but I don't think Madden was out when it became available. I think Madden came later, or it was like right then and there. But it was, it was a killer game on the Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis just had those colors that the Super Nintendo had, and it had that sound that the Super Nintendo didn't have. They say Sega does what Nintendo don't. But my favorite football video game would have to be it's Madden NFL Football 2001. Eddie George on the cover, and the reason why it's my favorite was because for so long it was the only one that I had, and I didn't watch a lot of football, and I didn't know a lot of the rules of football, and I thought running the ball was boring as fuck.
I was actually thinking about this whenever we started talking about we're gonna talk about our old retro games, Who actually had the fundamentals whenever they played?
No,
as a child.
Bullshit. Like nobody ran, and that would have been the best hack ever. Is I'm going to run this because everybody assumes everyone else is going to pass because that's what everyone does.
No, and not only pass. This is how I would play fucking Madden 2001. Wow, the video is throwing me back right now. The what I would do is every fucking play, not even joking you, every play is just Hail Mary.
Oh, I honestly was expecting flea flicker into a Hail Mary.
No, 100% of the time, just Hail Mary. And just run it like, if we're at the 50-yard line, I'd run it all the way back to the fucking end zone. Just chuck it as hard as I could and see where I'd go. But yeah, and I remember, and it's funny if you're watching live on Twitch, this is Madden 2001. I remember thinking like, graphics will never be this good. This is the peak. We've peaked. It just will be full motion video style from now on in.
Oh my
gosh. For every fucking game. This is the peak. I remember one time my aunt being over and walking in the room, and she was just thinking that I was watching a football game, and she's like, "Why are you watching football? I didn't know you liked football." Like, and obviously, if you look at them, the graphics are fucking terrible. But I guess on a tiny 13-inch TV,
is it me or are like the character movements still really smooth though for like a 20-year-old game?
I mean, it's PS2. Greatest.
This is like a blue disc game, which means my PS2 couldn't play it.
Did you not have the original PS2?
Nope. I was the one that always, if the game had a blue disc, it would not work.
So I think the character movements is because this is before they started doing a lot of motion capture.
Yeah.
So there were actual artists that were making, like rigging everything and making it move a lot better before everyone got lazy with mocap.
Also, this was a good year if you were just a throw it person, because this was the greatest show on turf. This was the Rams. And then I was a Vikings fan when I was young. So I had Dante Culpepper just throw it to Randy Moss all day.
Yep.
Didn't learn shit.
Titans won this Super Bowl, right?
No, they lost the Super Bowl by a yard.
That's right. Oh, man.
Titans have never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they probably never will.
Hey, they said that about the Eagles, so I don't know. But yeah, so this was, just because this was one of the only games that I had that was a football game, just over and over and over again. And I remember getting like maybe Madden 03 for the PS2, and I remember thinking, it's just the same damn game, but with like a current roster. And so I never really was the person that would get Madden every single year, just because of that. And I remember getting a game that we're going to talk about here in a minute, and then figuring out, oh, fuck Madden, we're going to play this game from now on. A certain game for the Xbox 360 that I'll go ahead and assume Ed's gonna talk about here right now.
On the spot.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right when I said that, the fucking Titans fumbled it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I fumbled that segue.
Yeah.
My bad, guys.
So, for me, and Blitz the League. One.
Did you ever play Blitz the arcade?
Two. Blitz the arcade, I did. I think I owned it for one of the consoles when it was like Blitz 2000, because it was the only Blitz one that came out. I think was 99.
That sounds about for like the N64, right?
Yeah. So like for home console, it was 2000, not 99. And I mean, it was just stupid arcade fun. One of the best things to do was like tackle somebody from halfway down the field. Like you just fucking fly across the field and tackle them. Awesome. Always fun. But but for me, Blitz the League is something I will always freaking love because it was just so hyper violent and ridiculous, and Lawrence Taylor allowed you to send hookers to the opposing players.
I forgot Lawrence Taylor was involved in it.
Just like real life. Well, he had retired, which means the NFLPA didn't have his rights.
Oh, he had been retired for years.
Right, but that means he could do whatever he wanted with his likeness.
Yeah, and he was he gave some, I guess he was a consultant and would say like, oh yeah, this is what we did, steroids, and we would send hookers to the opposing players so that way they'd be weaker the next day. So naturally, first chance I got, I did that for, against the other team, and it was a cakewalk of a match. But yeah, for me, that's probably my favorite, just because it's like stupid fun and like I said, just hyper violent. Seeing a guy's testicles explode because of a tackle.
Wait, what did he just rip?
So the quarterback threw the ball as LT was jumping at him. I'm sorry, audio listeners. So the quarterback's hand hit his helmet, got his thumb caught in the face guard.
Oh.
And LT didn't let him loose, so LT twisted his head and broke the dude's thumb off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot how fucked up this game was.
It's so good.
Yeah, we need to play that again.
It's so good.
Let's go through a season.
And this is the first one. Like the second one isn't as fun. I mean, it's still fun. It's just the injuries. They're a lot more in depth.
I guess they went it's kind of like the Mortal Kombat route, where the game is pretty much the same. It's just the X-rays that they do is more detailed and gruesome.
I was gonna say, I thought I remember like an X-ray system like early on in this game.
I remember
it's
that.
There.
Yeah,
it's there. But like in the second one, it was just a lot more detail to it. Like you see, again, I'm coming back to it. Like when you crush the guy's or rupture the guy's testicle, you fucking see it like just spew all over inside of him.
That's how you do it, Sniper Elite.
I equated it a lot. I equated it a lot to the Burnout games, where like you're obviously you're playing a racing game, but you're not playing that game as a racing game. You're playing that game to see how fucking crazy of a crash you can create. This is like that. This is, you're playing a football game, but you're not playing the game to like have a good technical football game.
No,
yeah, Crazy Taxi is not a great taxi game.
Yeah, no, you had Madden for that, and you had before this, NFL Blitz was your arcade version of a football game, but this came out and it was just like it was its own thing. It was like kind of simulated, but then you see stuff like that, a guy take his helmet off and get hit with it.
Yeah.
That now is called the Myles Garrett.
And I a lot of people had the NCAA effect where like they want just a sports simulation, boom. But I like the fact that I could possibly fucking break somebody's back and rip their muscles apart.
Oh God, yes, I forgot about that. I'm watching the video right now, and it's just showing a guy's ribs break.
It's not only that, but it's like what Blitz did was like, yeah, it showed the bones break, which is cool, but like what really is fucked up, and I definitely don't think you can get away with it now, is like when you give somebody a concussion, it's like
just showed that.
It like literally rattled the brain
Will Smith
around.
is sad now.
And you can almost be like, yeah, they're definitely playing light on CTE. And now that people have died and have been killed because of CTE, you really can't be making fun of that shit.
I don't know.
I can make fun of people getting hit by cars because people have been getting hit by cars in a long time.
I mean, we've all seen the Sarcastable episode of South Park, so you can't make fun of it.
It's been
Yeah.
done.
I think I don't know why, but I always get like the Chris Benoit guilt. You know, when I think about concussions and CTE.
You told
like,
him to jump off the top rope and using his head.
I know, but he didn't know any better. Poor sweet boy.
Okay.
Simple boy.
Simple boy.
Yeah, so that's my favorite football game, but I mean, second would be Tecmo Bowl. And I actually have a question for you guys. I had to step away before, so I don't know if anybody talked about it, but have any of you actually played Tecmo Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about for a bit.
Okay.
Talk about the Raiders, stuff like, you know, the normal trope.
Okay, so have you played just Tecmo Super Bowl or like Tecmo Bowl?
I've played both. I played
Okay.
both leading up to this episode for a bit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. And then Mutant League Football.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's
That was
new
going
though,
right
right?
No, Mutant Football League is.
Oh, that's not that good, right?
Wait, hold on. What are you saying? What's different?
There was a new football game that came out like recently for the Switch, and I thought it was a Mutant Football League.
It is Mutant Football League, but the one from back in like 91, 92, 93, one of those there, is Mutant League Football.
Okay. I don't know that one.
Didn't they have like different versions of Mutant League games? Like, isn't there a hockey one too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh my
so
God! There's a character named Bones Jackson.
Let's also point out that this was made by EA.
Oh wow.
which
EA
is
used to
weird.
give a fuck about video games.
And then they-
60 whiners.
And then they bought the license and didn't have to care anymore.
The Midway Monsters.
Yeah.
So I remember these Mutant League games. They always had like a some kind of on the field. There was always something
On the field hazards, like you had
Yeah,
landmines, you had toxic waste splashes, like all kinds of stuff.
Why don't
And
I know
that's-
about this?
Oh, it's
The
what made
sprites look
like
excellent.
football like much better. Because right now, I guess the only equivalent you have is like that Mutant Football League. I guess I haven't played it, but then you have Blood Bowl, which is just Warhammer,
Oh, Warhammer,
but with
yeah.
football, and it uses dice rolls, so it's kind of dumb. But Mutant League Football, it was just wild, and it was like what I wanted in a football game.
What was it for? What system?
Genesis?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was a Genesis game. Okay.
Like I never owned the game or rented it from Blockbuster, but when I had Sega Channel, that's what was. They had that for a little bit, and so when I played it, I was like, "Well, goddamn, this is the best thing I've ever played. Maybe I'll actually like football." And then I got rid of Sega Channel, and then I stopped caring.
I
again.
want to do a whole episode.
I
on
knew
Sega
there was
Channel.
a reason why I didn't include a question about Sega Channel, and that just reminded me why.
Because the only one that knows about it is Nick.
Yeah.
Ah, man, I think my cousin had it. I might have to talk to him about it just to see.
Yeah.
What's the one that you got playing right now? Is this
This is Blood Bowl, and
This
this
is
is
Blood Bowl.
stupid as fucking
Well, Blood
shit.
Bowl. Okay, Blood Bowl video game. Yeah, it looks boring as shit, but it actually it's a Warhammer game, and it has
There's
multiple. It's played under those crazy Warhammer rules. But there's
There's a third one coming
there's
out?
two other Blood Bowl games that are much better than standard Blood Bowl, in my opinion. There's like Blood Bowl Blitz. I think that's the name of it, but it's a 1v1 Blood Bowl. And it's a lot more streamlined, and to me it looks a lot more fun. And we're talking about board games here.
Well,
And then there's Blood Bowl Team Manager, which is a card game like Magic the Gathering, but it involves that Warhammer world, which is again is a oh god, don't play Dice Tower fucking videos. Talk about boring as shit videos. Blood Bowl Team Manager.
Blood Bowl does have like it started as a tabletop variant.
Yeah.
So they would do it the exact same way, like milk it for everything it's got by having all like any type of property linked to Blood Bowl because Games Workshop, if anything, they are greedy, and that's why we love them.
Yes. Yes. Ooh.
Oh man.
Games Workshop. That's a throwback. I haven't thought about anything Games Workshop in forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. I just had a thought, but fucking that video just put like made me
Ruined it for
forget
you.
it. No. What the fuck was it?
Tecmo
Well,
Super Bowl?
While you
No, not
while
Tecmo
you
Bowl.
think, Andrew, what was yours?
Andrew, I might cut you off at the moment.
Oh well, now I don't want to go. I mean,
Actually, Ed, do you remember now?
What a
Okay.
dick.
So when it comes to sports games, growing up as a kid, I didn't really have a lot of them. Like I didn't do a lot of sports stuff. Until I was like a teenager, and me, unless you count like buying or playing like the WWF. Let's go with that one. Buying those games.
Save those pandas.
So, but it wasn't until like I think NBA Jam came around that I was kind of like, okay, sports games can be fun. If they play like this, sports games are fun. And it was only a matter of time until like you had that kind of style game for football, which I always wanted to get into because my dad always watched football, on Sundays. And so it was kind of that I gotta, make my dad proud kind of thing. And so
I don't want your life.
basically, NFL Blitz came out, so like the arcade and 2000, all those started running. And that is kind of where I was like, okay, I can learn football. I can understand football because this is football. I can understand it, and I can talk to my dad about it, and we could play football games together. Not knowing that this is like football, but like cranked up to 11 in a way, So you had like you had plays you had to read, but everything was ridiculous. And me picking on Jim about you running a flea flicker into a Hail Mary. That was me. I did that all the time. And again, as a kid, you're not thinking about the repetitiveness is not gonna give away how you're about to play. But I anytime I was on offense, I had like certain plays that I would do.
I hated that fucking accuracy meter.
No, yeah, the accuracy meter was garbage. I actually didn't run. I didn't do kicks. I always went for 2, no matter what.
I mean,
I always went for 2. I thought kicking was boring as shit. I would always go for 2.
Yeah, I think I did too. And then, having watched football later on, I was like, why are they kicking?
Yep.
Also, I'm so confused who this number 13 is for the Giants, their quarterback. Like, everybody else is licensed, but I can't figure out who this guy is.
I think there were certain players that
refuse
aren't
licensing?
Yeah, that like aren't represented.
Yeah.
I mean, remember Barry Bonds used to do that for MLB games. He'd refuse to have his likeness, so there'd always be some fucking jack dude on the Giants, but he'd have some really stupid name.
Wasn't that a thing with Jordan and NBA Jam? Like
he wasn't really playing
at
in
the
the
time.
league when this.
That was when he was retired. The first time, I think.
I was gonna say, I thought it was after all that, but either way. But the big thing with NFL Blitz that really got me like real invested in it was the cheating aspect of it. Because they had like the codes you could put in, like your initials you could put in. If you put certain things in, you get different things. Like, and then the screen, like in a midway game with Mortal Kombat 3, where they have like the little squares and you hit a button and it changes the picture, and the certain combination of pictures would unlock something as well. that was where I was like, okay, cool. I know my go-to is like I would change the football to a design that was pretty much what like the XFL football was like this past year. And then I would do big head mode, of course. I would get the initials I would try to do to get the Raiden head, because again, midway game.
God, you're making me sad.
Yeah, this is an XFL video game.
What could have been?
If you can't tell, they just made the teams in Madden.
Yeah, it's just modded.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like that was probably one of the bigger ones. And then like as I got older, I wanted to play like a legit an NFL game. And so I would try to get into Madden as best I could and try to learn the mechanics. And it's one of those situations of like, oh, PJ Walker. I forgot.
I know. Him and Cam, man.
Carolina Panther PJ Walker?
Carolina Panther PJ Walker.
Oh, they don't call him PJ. They call him his full name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like Patrick Walker or something.
Come back, Patrick. We'll call you PJ again.
The Peach.
So, but yeah, like, I remember there was, it was like, I want to say 2012. I could be very wrong. But I remember I went to a Best Buy in like downtown Houston area. I mean, am I cool to go specifics? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so like in the
Yeah, you wanna
Galleria
shop there.
area. Yeah, the Galleria area. And I remember it was like I went for like a midnight release too, and I think Jim went with me, or
I went with you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I
remember going with you.
and I was like so excited for it, and
were we both so excited for this?
I don't know. Man.
I just know I'm having this memory unlocked.
There was something. It was promising the most fluid or the easiest to learn.
This was
or something.
years ago, though, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like 2007.
Was it 7? Man, I thought it was 12. Okay.
I mean, did you know me?
I wasn't living in Houston in 2012.
Oh, you weren't? Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, in 2012, we were living together.
Oh, yeah. Well, either way, it was
a long time ago.
Longest fucking time ago. It was promising a lot, and it just totally dropped the ball because I immediately was like, maybe 3 weeks in, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to play this game.
I just realized I thought this was real footage, and then I saw crowds, and I was like, "Oh wait, this can't be real."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shut up, Todd.
I also I love that we're showing video of
We had crowds.
one of my favorite streamers, Chris Decker. He off topic. He downloads several creator wrestlers in the WWE games, the 2K games, and he'll do like outlandish, like the Marvel Royal Rumble or like Celebrity Royal Rumble and stuff like that. And then he created this entire roster of like celebrities, CW, the Celebrity Wrestling Federation.
Oh, that's him.
That's him. And he like Donald Trump was like the first champion and like feuded with I think Kanye West or something.
So it's like a worst celebrity death match.
Well, I just subscribed to him.
He's worth watching, definitely, and I'm very excited for the new AEW game.
Yep, absolutely.
For WrestleMania, this is a good time to talk about football games, just because the big game is tomorrow. But did you think I was gonna fuck up?
No.
I mean, you guys have said it like multiple times throughout this whole thing.
What? I never said it.
I don't think we have.
Yes, you have.
You have.
No, but
And Todd did too.
Yeah, I gave up at a certain point.
What do they call it? What do they call it in Rugrats? The Stupor Bowl.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
That's what it's called.
The Super Bowl.
Then we're
But
gonna
we've
get hit by Nickelodeon.
yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Who's hosting NFL games?
Oh,
Those are the best broadcasts.
No, I was
Don't
gonna
talk
say,
bad
I
about
was
that.
gonna say, does the big game have a slime zone?
Oh
my gosh.
Who's broadcasting it?
Oh, I'm not
It would
sure.
have to be
It's
CBS.
CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, because CBS is Viacom and so is Nick. By the way, apparently that's what got Nate Burleson a job on ESPN.
Really?
The Nickelodeon thing.
Wow.
Oh.
Good for him. Good for him. But
Did
we're
we-
definitely gonna do a breakdown of wrestling episodes around the time of WrestleMania this year, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
That'll be our time to shine, for sure.
Sure. Oh, and I remembered what I wanted to say. Jim, if you really just wanted to pass in a football game, you should have gotten one of the arena football games.
Oh my god.
Oh,
it's
man,
just motion everywhere and
I
passing
never
down
played
the
those
field.
arena football
They
games.
made arena football games?
They made like
Yes.
three.
There was like one or two. Yeah, three of them. Yeah,
There
I
were
knew
3 of them.
They were god awful.
They weren't great.
Just like the
Aw.
league.
I hate, so for some reason, maybe I'm misremembering this. So if you're watching the stream, obviously they're playing in an NCAA, which is a great franchise, which we, for the second time now, Retrospects has willed a game back into existence.
So excited.
We did it with Scott Pilgrim, and what did they just announce? They're bringing back the NCAA video games.
So
I think
fucking
2014 was the
excited.
last one.
Whatever year the Florida State
Because
Seminoles won the title.
it's also, if you look it up, I believe 2014 NCAA 2014 is worth like a lot of money. A physical
that
copy of it.
And 6 and 10, I believe, are worth like some of the most amounts of money. 6 is popular because that was the year Texas won the title, which means Vince Young was in it and he dominated everybody. But that also meant cheater Reggie Bush was in it, and that was a big thing. And then 10 was popular because it was like the first one on the newer consoles. And then 14 is popular because it was the last one.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
Silence.
it's no. I remember being at a store and like seeing, obviously when you go to, especially a game that maybe doesn't specifically specialize in retro games, like that maybe just sells like an antique store, you'll see piles and piles and piles and piles of sports games. But I saw a sports game behind glass and I was like, what the fuck? Why are we putting sports games behind glass? And then sure enough, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. It was like NCAA 2014 for PS3, like $150. A crazy amount of money.
What?
Yeah, that's. I don't know how I feel about that.
And as people make anything like valuable if they will
Again,
it
kind of
enough.
what we were talking about before. It's just what, the value that people add to it, Just because it, and we'll end with this. Just because it is old does not necessarily mean that it is worth a shit ton of money.
I mean, look at the Mona Lisa.
Exactly.
What an overrated piece of shit.
Piece of shit. And with that said, we will see you next time with Retrospects. Thank you so much. I believe this being episode 19, next time is going to be episode 20.
Oh,
That means
Side
we're going to do a
quest.
side story, a side quest episode.
You
Side
already forgot
quest
the name of the thing you came up with.
Yeah. Side Stories is the last podcast on the left, like in between episodes.
All right, so we got the Football League coming after us, Nickelodeon, last podcast on the left. Let me
Are we
see.
getting to the point where like we can't even say names of
WWE
things?
wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Just
WWE's.
wrestling in general is coming after us.
Also the WWF because he said it and now I did too.
The World
Oh, yeah.
The panda is going to come after us.
Something Ford F-150.
Oh, no.
Oh
Oh,
Midway's not around anymore.
no!
Midway games? They're Warner Brother games now.
Midway
What?
Carnival
Real
games
quick,
are coming
what game
after
is
us.
this?
This is NFL Street.
I was gonna say this is
Which
street.
was
Yeah,
not
this
mentioned.
is NFL Street.
Never
Yeah.
played NFL Street, but I loved NBA
Oh,
Street.
if we were going to
Also,
cut to me, then I was going to bring up NFL Street. That was
I
my
was
other
gonna
game.
say,
Yeah,
you
we
never,
skipped Nick.
You never talked to Nick.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
think Nick played those games.
Oh, no, I mean,
That's
it's fine.
presumptuous.
But we ended the episode. so-
No, we
then-
haven't ended shit yet.
Then
Nick,
also
go.
NFL 2K5.
Nick,
professionals, constant professionals.
what
right
did you
here.
play, Nick?
Oh, I played a little bit of here and there, you know.
God damn it, Nick! Come on, man, give me something.
All right, so because I did interject while Ed was talking about Mutant League Football, and I was going to talk a little bit about that, but the other game that I was going to talk about was NFL Street. Again, it was a football game, but it was just not the boring as shit regular football or NCAA football. No offense, Ty, it's boring as shit. Because it was made by EA Big, so it was like just all the good stuff, a lot less of the fluff. Just like with the NBA Streets, and then they did FIFA Street, which I don't think that was that great.
Are you
anyway?
kidding? No, dude.
FIFA Street has survived longer than all the other ones. They still make street soccer games still.
They still make FIFA Street?
They make street soccer, not FIFA. They can't get the license anymore.
Oh.
Because once they opened up the license to like 5 different companies, they stopped making FIFA Street. But I know there was a street soccer game recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think FIFA Street had 3 of them, and they were the only one.
No, because NBA Street had 3.
Did they?
Yep. The third one was not as great because they kind of went like hard into the next generation of games, and they kind of made it a lot more cinematic, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
And that was also the time they came out with like NBA Baller. So I think they were trying to match with that.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
But NFL Street, it was the closest, like, other than Blitz. Well, actually, no. Like, more than the new Blitz the League, it was the closest to original Blitz that a football game was. Because you couldn't, like, do after tackle hits or anything. But as far as the arcadey feel of a football game, and minus the sending hookers and steroid injections, like, that's how it played. So I really liked that one. And I did own a copy of NFL Street 1, but it kind of fell to the wayside of other video games, and I never got 2. But if anybody ever had it, then I'd say, oh, hell yeah, pop that bitch in and let's play around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say before, you know, we all hate me.
Before the show ended.
Are you talking now?
Jim,
Are you talking about famed XFL quarterback He Hate Me?
Oh man.
No, I'm just saying.
Did you say quarterback?
Jim, I'm sorry.
Oh, he wasn't. What
He
was
wasn't on
He was a
quarterback.
he was a running back.
Running back. That's right.
Jonathan Stewart, I believe. Also a former Carolina.
From The
Panther.
Daily Show?
Also host of the Daily Show. Gotcha.
Yes.
And famed Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, yeah.
I would have never got that one.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it. This has been Retrospects. Stick around. We're gonna play a fun round of. I want to say Jeopardy, but that's what Smosh calls their Jeopardy. So can't even
we
call
call
it.
we call it Jeopardy. Alex Trebek can sue us from the grave.
Mosh is sending us a strike.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.